Howdy, Signing Sheriff here. I'm going to do a relatively complicated video, but not just that. I'm going to do one that many people are probably going to become mad at me for. But before I start, this is all just my opinion, okay? So now, let's continue. I wanted to let you all know that if you want to help support the channel, I have 2 books for sale on Amazon. One is an ebook and the other is a paper book. One is called Christian Ghosts and the other is called The Battle of Wits. The one is for $5, I think. The other one is for $10 or $15. So if you want to help support the channel, please go check them out. And thank you. So the video that I'm trying to do right now, I am titling it, What Types of Electronics Are Good for What? Or I'm going to type something like that. I don't know for sure. See the title in the YouTube thingy. Anyway, excuse me. So, this video is just weird, but the reason why I'm making this video is because I was watching a YouTube video a few minutes ago, and apparently now there's a company called Light. They have what's called the Light Phone 1 and 2. I used to have the 2. Now apparently they have the 3. Okay. What was that thing? I'm gonna call it the Light Phone because it's a little bit more easy to say again and again and again and again and again. But anyway, the Light Phone is basically a Kindle shrunk down and given phone calling abilities. That's the best way I can describe it. What's the point? Well, it's supposed to make it so that you don't have email, social media, so on, to make it so that you're not being controlled by your phone. Okay, I can understand the reason for that, but there's applications and there's times when that's not good. For example, a kid when your kid, if you have one, when your kid is, say, 10 to 15-ish, that range, generally speaking. Okay, the kid having a way to communicate with specific people, good. Internet, social media, most of the time GPS, music, that all these different things, your opinion, if they need it. Most people, it's not needed. But an adult, you're probably not going to be able to function nowadays without email. There's a good chance, if you're anything like me, that you probably can't function without GPS. Okay. There's things nowadays, they make everything dependent on a smartphone or a computer. The problem is, it's almost impossible to bring a computer with you all the time. Okay, that's when the smartphone is helpful. But there are times when the smartphone is not needed. Okay, I understand that. So, here's what I'm trying to do. What things, electronic, are a good idea, when they need to be used, and when are they a bad idea? So obviously the first one, a phone. That one's easy. It depends on the person. Some people, they're fine with a smartphone. They can do just fine. Some people that I knew and some people that I know, they need a dumb phone. Okay, it's different for each individual. The problem is the more that individual is involved in the real world, in society, the more they need smart technology. And that's one of the big problems. When someone has a dumb phone, they need somebody behind them that has a smartphone or a computer. If that person with the dumb phone does not have a backup or support system that has the thing that they don't have, they're not going to succeed in this day. Sorry. So, this necessary on some level. Okay. Now, here's one of those things that it becomes individual choice. A wallet. Now, most people have one. Okay. But here's the problem. Did you notice something strange about my wall other than the cow print? I'm the type of person that if I don't have it clipped to myself, I lose it. Okay. I can't tell you how many times I've arrived at work, or I've arrived at church, or I've arrived at blah, 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 blah. And I found out, I drove all the way here without my driver's license. Dang it! So I started doing the only thing I could. I knew I never leave without my phone. So I put my driver's license in my phone. Okay, that type of technology for me is necessary because I'm always forgetting something. It's attached to me. I never leave it. But the other problem, this is a little bit bulky. So now, new technology. I use this to keep my phone, wallet combo on my belt. Okay. Cool. Now, you maybe, well, moving on from there, you maybe noticed another one. Are these really necessary? Not really. Now, if you're like me, I'm always listening to music. Almost always. Okay. I use these, this, something like that, almost all the time. Okay. For me, it's necessary. For most people, no. They can just play it. Okay. But now we're starting to move into the area. Is that necessary? Nope. Nope. Why do I have one? For a few reasons. One, my hearing is starting to. I often don't notice my phone is ringing. This buzzes on my wrist. I notice this more often than I notice. Obviously, my actual phone is the one that's right there, but I'm using this as an example. So I notice this more than I notice that. Okay. For me, this is necessary. For example, where I work, I can control my music. Yeah, kind of my phone. I can control my music. I can respond if my mom or dad tries to contact me while I'm at work. I can check texts. Because I can't hear the work bell. So my watch buzzes at specific times to remind me, hey, break is soon. Okay, for me, this is very important. Okay, For most people, no, this is not important. That most people don't need one. Me? Okay. Now, we're starting to get into the really weird. For example, my phone right now, I don't use this one. Because of this. Again, ignore the cow print. Again, it's a wallet. But it's magnetic. Why do I have that? This. I used to use a case that had a battery, but I couldn't have this at the same time. So I found something that had both. Wallet, battery. When I need one, when I need the other, okay. It works fine. But then you have to get curious. Something like this. Obviously, this is a wireless charger. I'm not big into those, but this has one because it was the best option I could find. Okay. Who really needs to charge their phone like that? People who don't want to have a cord. People who forgot their cord. People in a specific situation. For example, when I was in an airport, them having a wireless charger in the armrest was cool. I didn't have a cord, so I could okay, nice. Under normal circumstances, I don't use one. Some people don't use the cord. So it just depends. Another thing, that changes an aux cord into a charger cord for an iPhone. Okay. Who needs one of those? Someone who doesn't want to have a Bluetooth. Okay, not a lot, but you kind of can see where I'm going with this. There are specific things for specific situations, for specific preferences, for specific people need, blah, 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 blah. Deciding that because I don't like it, it's just, no. No. Remember, some people have different needs. I have a need for my dad? Nah. I have a need for my mom? Nah. My mom could work with computer and a dumb phone. She'd be fine with that. Okay? The rest of the family? So just try to remember, everyone is different. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one. And happy trails.